Hi, welcome to Critical Mass. I'm Rich Bonaduce with Salt Lake Magazine and the Standard Examiner.
Hi, my name is Kaitlyn Booth. I am a film critic and comic critic over at WatchPlayRead.
And we just came back from seeing 50 Shades of Grey. And you may notice we're not filming in Art House Cinema 502. We literally just came from Gateway, came over here to KPDR Studios on 33rd and State. Check them out on Facebook. They have a Facebook page as well as WatchPlayRead, Critical Mass, Salt Lake Mag, Standard Examiner, and even 50 Shades of Grey has their own page.
Of course they do.
So let's just give you a taste. I shouldn't say that.
No.
Give you a taste of 50 Shades of Grey. Check out this trailer.
So, what was he like?
Mr. Grey will see you now. He was really smart, very intense. To what do you owe your success?
I've always been good at people.
I have a natural instinct for what makes a person tick. Anastasia?
Christian. You do realize that he hasn't stopped looking at you.
Have you met someone?
Be free.
I like to see your face. Gives me some clue what you might be thinking.
So you're a control freak?
I exercise control in all things.
It must be really boring. You're not playing fair.
You should steer clear of me. I'm not the man for you.
Why won't you let me in?
I had a rough start in life. That's all you need to know. My tastes are very singular. You wouldn't understand.
Enlighten me then. Why are you trying to change me?
I'm not. It's you that's changing me.
I don't know if I can be with him the way he needs me to. Say I did stay. What would happen?
So there you have it. This is based on the first of a series of 3 books that you just love.
Oh, yes.
And just kidding. And I have heard that they are already planning 2 sequels.
Yeah.
So, should we get 2 sequels?
No.
Okay, well again, you're the female representative.
Oh, yes.
You know, is this about empowerment?
No.
I didn't think so either. But are the books, because I've heard that the BDSM community is a little bit up in arms about this, and not just because they're tied, but because
I see what you did
they're
there.
just fit to be tied. All right, anyway, I'll stop. But yeah, that they're unhappy with the way this was presented, and that it wasn't it wasn't totally consensual, I guess, in some ways, and not very much about empowerment at all. What do you think?
Well, as someone who has only read part of the first book because I could not get past the horrible writing, I am kind of a snob. I'm not going to lie. I'm an English major. Yeah, I couldn't get through it.
Okay.
I think it's 50 Shades of Grey is written by E.L. James. She writes it in a first-person point of view because that's apparently the thing we're supposed to do with terrible fiction for women now. And I think in one sense it does take a lot away from the characters, in the sense that we have no idea what's going on in Anastasia's head. The only thing we're seeing is this really creepy relationship she is developing with this rich guy who just kind of fixates on her for no reason, aside from the fact that she falls down and bites her lip a whole bunch of times. Very Kristen Stewart.
How many?
I kept a tally. About 10 minutes into the movie, I pulled out my notes notes and I wrote lip biting and started taking tallies, and I got up to 19, and I'm very sure I missed a few.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think this movie has the same message as Iron Man.
Please elaborate.
Money is the ultimate aphrodisiac. I was sitting here going, okay, suppose this guy was broke.
Yeah.
He would just be a good-looking, unblinking creepo.
Unblinking.
Right, he would just talk to her and he would never blink. Because apparently, eye contact is important. And I'm going, okay, whatever. So I was trying to follow it from the point of view of what really is going on here. When the movie ended, I thought, well, that was really kind of hollow. Like, what was this about? Like, what were they trying to say? Nothing really happened. In fact, as far as the sex scenes are concerned, you probably heard about them, 20 minutes of sex scenes in the movie. It's about, I made sure to write down,
Oh, you did.
about 90 minutes into a 2-hour movie before they actually got to any of the BDSM.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I read.
They had some like kissing, sensual stuff on a bed, just standard lovemaking, I guess. But to get to the actual, scary meat of this thing, an hour and a half, it goes away, and it comes back 15 minutes before the movie ends. And I'm like, wow, that was it, huh?
That's supposed to be the selling point.
That's the selling point. And I'm sitting here and I'm sitting in between two women, one old enough to be my mom, and I'm thinking this is going to be uncomfortable. And they go through the motions, they do these scenes, and I'm like, wow, is it me or is this just not hot?
It's not.
It wasn't, was it?
It really wasn't. A lot is being made of the press rounds for this movie, and the fact that it seems that Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan do not like each other at all.
Didn't seem to be a whole lot of chemistry.
No, there was no chemistry between them at all.
Although I thought she was great. Like her personality, especially when she was just being herself and being uncomfortable and awkward with the situation, and her humor, that broke a lot of the tension of the movie. But
I'm not sure how intentional that comedy was supposed to be.
I think some of it was, don't you think? I think they missed a lot of opportunities for more.
Yeah.
He's not a funny guy.
No.
Let's just say that. If humor is the way to a woman's heart, I don't know how he got there to her. But, and again, no chemistry in something that really is reliant on their relationship. And I just kept coming back to, okay, if this guy didn't have money, would anybody care?
I just kept coming back to the fact that the whole thing was really creepy to me, especially the ending. The ending was just like, whoa, this... I watched a movie at Sundance this year called Reversal, where it was a rape revenge horror movie where a woman is brutalized, she comes back and kills her to take revenge on her attacker. So it had some pretty explicit scenes in that, and I would take that over that final scene in that movie. It was really, really uncomfortable.
The final scene she's talking about is that she asks him to take her, to the worst possible place to see if she can decide if it's for her. And he does, and you didn't like that.
No, I found it very uncomfortable. I think it was supposed to be uncomfortable.
Sure.
I don't think it was supposed to come off as bad as it did. But even then, I mean, I know that they cut a lot of stuff from the book. I know that him separating her from her friends and family is much more explicit in the book, but even then it's hinted at pretty heavily there. Yeah. Her roommate expresses concern at some point and goes, are you sure this is what you want? Are you sure what's going on? And he comes off as overly, I guess, dominant. It was just, it was skeevy. I did not like it at all.
He was a total creeper.
He really was.
Now, what would you say it says about women that the squeals every time he took his shirt off?
God.
Or some of the stuff that he was doing when he was sort of throwing her around like a rag doll, and some of the stuff he was saying to her? And I was like, I don't know, is this taking a women's lib back like 50 years? I don't, or am I just being overly sensitive?
No, you're not. You're not at all. There are a lot of feminists in the world who are very angry at this series and also at Twilight, because this is, I don't know, this has been made very prominent with the movie, but 50 Shades of Grey originally started out as Twilight fan fiction. I don't know. If
Oh,
you
I
knew-
didn't know that.
You did not know that. Okay,
No.
so it's
I
based.
try to stay out of the whole Twilight thing.
I don't blame you. It's not very fun times. But yes, it started out as Twilight fan fiction. Only she went through and changed the names, basically.
Okay.
So Christian Grey was Edward, and Anastasia was Bella.
So who was shirtless boy? Who was Team Jacob? Who was Jacob?
I think they were kind of trying to go there a bit with the
brother?
friend.
Okay.
But
Jose or
yeah,
whatever. Okay.
But the fan fiction is what's referred to as alternate universe, which means you're basically telling your own story and everything except with the characters.
Okay,
So you're
okay.
taking established characters and putting them in your own scenario.
Well, now, I did think it was interesting, and of course I didn't know that, but I'm sitting here and he says something to her like, I'm no good for you, stay away from me, and I'm going, wow, that's Edward.
Yeah.
Except Edward pursued her anyway, and all these other things. He at least, nope, he does too.
Yeah.
After he says, no, we're done, he keeps pursuing her and breaking her down or whatever, and he does sort of try to control her life, keep her away from friends and family. Doesn't go very far, apparently, at least not as far as the book, but it's weird enough that you're going, would anyone put up with this?
I don't know why anyone would.
Yeah.
It's just the first thing that one of my fellow film critic Kyle, who also writes for Watch Play Read, said to me as soon as the credits started rolling, he looked at me and he said, "Well, that's what an abusive relationship looks like."
Now, again, it's not like we can't have a movie about abusive relationships. You know, we can have one. We can have a movie where the guy's a jerk or the woman needs to step up and okay, fine. But this movie isn't being advertised that way.
No, it's being played as a romance.
Yeah.
Everything that Christian does, no matter how creepy it is being
Sexy.
portrayed as a good thing.
Yeah.
He takes her car and sells it without telling her and
Yeah.
just gives her a new one.
And you know what I was thinking? Yes, it's a very nice car, but I think anyone would have gone,
You just
wait a minute, where's my car?
You
know?
just stole my car.
Yeah.
He did.
Oh, you just broke and entered my house
Yeah.
and did this other thing too. Yeah.
I followed you across the country because of reasons. I was just like, this is so weird. This is so weird and so creepy.
And the shame of it is, I thought, well, again, we won't spoil anything too much, but I think the shame of it is there is a BDSM environment. There is that crowd, and they are not all screwed up crack babies who abuse each other.
I didn't know that part about his history.
Yeah,
and it made me laugh.
it's a very consensual thing.
It
In
is.
fact, the submissive is in charge. You know, safe words and all these things, and they kind of hint that a little bit. But he's way too controlling and creepy to really have that come across well.
Yeah.
I don't know what this movie was trying to say, and when it ended, I knew even less. And I give it I'm not going to give it a flat out D because I think she was very good in it as an actress. But I'm in the below average range. I'll put it that way. I'm giving it a C minus.
I spent the entire drive over here trying to come up with some redeeming quality. And aside from Dakota being relatively likable, even if I just kind of wanted to smack her,
Be honest. Be honest.
and I'm trying. I
you signed a
would go,
contract. You must say. You must be honest.
God, this stupid contract. Wow. I would probably go with a D. I cannot think of any reason why anyone would want to go see this aside from maybe seeing a book they like. And even then, if you liked the books, you were going to go see it anyway, so it doesn't matter what you and me say.
They're not going to listen.
But
to
as
us.
far as someone who is on the fence and wants to take their special someone to a special movie for Valentine's Day, just do anything else. Go see anything else.
It's funny that your Valentine's Day choices are The Kingsman or 50 Shades Grey.
Yeah.
So maybe SpongeBob. It was out. It did really well.
I've heard
And
that. I
and
didn't get a
beat
chance
the
to
two
see it.
sci-fis that were out that weekend as
Yeah.
well. Wow. So it doesn't really, 50 Shades of Grey for us doesn't really succeed as anything it was touted to be. Not a romance.
Nope.
Not a tale of female empowerment. Not even a very good character study story. You don't find out very much about these folks.
No, it goes on for over 2 hours and just
Yeah.
goes on, and just some of that dialogue too is just, I literally took the notebook I was writing my notes in, and went like this, and was just like, I'm.
So definitely not a movie.
No.
And maybe not even a rental.
No.
There you go. If you agree with us or don't agree with us, either way, we want to hear about it. Leave a message in the comments and feel free to write us at Work, Play, Read.
Watch, Play, Read.
Watch, Play, Read, sorry. Yeah, why work? Yeah, heck with that.
Work is lame.
Watch, Play, Read. And at Critical Mass or Standard Examiner or Salt Lake Magazine. So, Rich Bonaduce,
Kaitlyn Booth.
thank you very much for watching, and stick around. We'll have more in a week.